Today, we're going to talk about the top 10 highest attack Pokemon in all of Pokemon Go through Generation 8. We do have a new generation coming with Scarlet and Violet, but we're going to shun those out for now and talk about the highest attack stats of all Pokemon that'll be in Pokemon Go through Generation 8. Let's get into it. Now, first off, I want to have a disclaimer. This is non-mega or non-formed Pokemon. For example, if we go to Gen 3, we go to Max Attack, we're not talking about Pokemon like Mega Rayquaza, Pokemon like Mega Garchomp that I just had. Non-megas, non-formed Pokemon, and if we go to Gen 7, we're not talking about like Ultra Necrozma. That is a form of Necrozma, so non-formed, non-mega. Now let's get into it. First, starting off with Attack Form Deoxys. Now right away, you're probably like, I thought you weren't going to use forms. Well, in this case, all the Deoxys forms, they have their own Pokemon per se. You can catch them individually in Pokemon Go, so that doesn't really count. Because if you look at Hoopa, if you look at Zacian, Zamazenta, even Necrozma, they have forms that will probably end up being used as Candy and Stardust to change into those forms. Same thing with Kyogre and Groudon. I don't see them having a outright form, especially we already know Hoopa is this way. I don't see them having an outright form, so in this specific scenario, we are going to count Attack Form Deoxys. And it's a monster. It has the highest attack stat, I'm pretty sure, in all of Pokemon Go, regardless of forms, and definitely without a form. 414, the only thing that stinks is the defense is 46, but this Pokemon, if you can get in a raid, could deal a lot of damage if it's resisting fighting or psychic, and you're using Zed Headbutt and Psycho Boost. I don't recommend it, but it would be pretty fun to deal that amount of massive damage in a raid, just to see how far you could go. And the next one, you probably guessed it, is Normal Form Deoxys. Again, guys, 345 attack. Now, this is a form that I wouldn't mind investing Stardust in. Same scenario with Attack Deoxys. If you're going up against like a fighting type and you could do Zen Headbutt and Psycho Boost, 345 attack stat, guys, remember that's 45 higher than Mewtwo. That's absolutely insane. And the defense is a lot more 70 more than Attack Deoxys, and the stamina is still rather low, but you can deal more damage with this than you could Attack Form Deoxys. Now, Circuitry, this is actually kind of new. 330 attack stat. This comes in third place when you're not counting different forms and whatnot. This Pokemon's very good. It just recently came out. It's the best electric attacker. Again, minus the forms. Thunder Shock, Thunder, Discharge. It actually could be okay in PvP. It doesn't have that good defense. The stamina's okay with Thunder Shock, Discharge, Power Whip, or Dazzling Gleam, depending on what you're wanting to use. But it's primarily a raid Pokemon, and it's an absolute monster. Definitely a Pokemon you should invest in. Kartana, another one we just recently had. It is forever, without Megas, forever will be the best Grass-type attacker in Pokemon Go, no matter what, non-Mega. Forever. 323 attack stat has a lot to do with that. 182 defense is actually not terrible. 139 stamina, that's a little on the low side. Razor Leaf, Leaf Blade, that's all this monster needs to be the top Grass-type non-Mega forever in Pokemon Go. That attack stat is just insane, especially for a Grass-type. Now, here's one that hasn't come to Pokemon Go yet, but it will because we have its normal form. This is Galerian Zen Darmanitan, and this is a Pokemon that a lot of people aren't really aware about. Ice and Fire type, guys, that attack stat is 323. This is absolutely insane. That's the same as Kartana, ladies and gentlemen, and it's an Ice and Fire type. Defense is substantially worse, but that stamina makes up for the lack of defense. Now, moves, Ice Fang, Avalanche, Ice Punch, Superpower, Overheat, this is just absolutely absurd. Ice Fang and Avalanche is going to make this thing probably the top Ice attacker minus Megas. Absolutely insane Pokemon. I see when this Pokemon comes out, it's probably going to get a move change. I don't know, maybe Niantic wants it to be ridiculous OP. Look at the regular Darmanitans as they are. Even though they have a low defensive stat, they're very, very powerful Pokemon, and they're very useful Pokemon. So, hey, you never know. Maybe the Darmanitans are going to stay that way, and this one will do the same. So, one thing to keep in mind when you're farming Darumaka candy. Next up, Fermosa. Another recent one. You kind of seen a theme here, Ultra Beast, but hey, they're OP. The Pokemon Company decided to make them that way. This one, same kind of treatment as Attack Deoxys, although you will see that the stamina is substantially higher, 137 to 174. You could argue the defense stat is substantially higher, it's plus 39. Obviously the attack stat is substantially lower, but this doesn't really serve a role as a bug or fighting type. I mean, maybe a bug type with Bug Bite and Bug Buzz. Pretty niche kind of, you know, Pokemon. The attack stat's insane. Probably Dark types would be a good Pokemon for this to go up against, like a Darkrai raids, things of that nature. But other than that, I wouldn't really invest in this Pokemon. But it does make the list as the number 6 highest attack Pokemon, non-forms, in Pokemon Go. So number 7, one we haven't gotten yet, but Blissphalon is another Ultra Beast. Huge theme here. 315 attack, 148 defense, 142 stamina, and it's a ghost type. No moves, so it's interesting to see what moves it will get. It does have access, I do believe, to all the great ghost moves, and I think it has access to some pretty good fire moves as well. As we've seen in the past, it just depends on what Niantic wants to do. Are they going to cater this more towards the fire types, or are they going to cater it more towards the ghost type? Worst case scenario would be like Fire Fang and Shadow Ball, where it doesn't really have a quick move for ghost, and it doesn't have a fire move for charge. So like they're swapped. Let's say it's got Shadow Claw but has Overheat, or it has Fire Fang and it has Shadow Ball. Like, it doesn't have a dual move set where it would benefit from either specifically fire or specifically ghost. But it is the top 7th highest attack Pokemon in Pokemon Go through Gen 8. Now next is Mewtwo. You guys are probably like, man, where's Mewtwo? I thought Mewtwo was the best Pokemon in Pokemon Go. It's sadly not, but it is up there because of its exclusive move, as you guys are aware, Psycho Cut and Psy Strike. Psy Strike is an amazing move. That's what makes Mewtwo on par and so good, especially a Shadow Mewtwo for that matter. But such a good Pokemon. You guys are probably well aware of the attack stat. It's 300 on the dot. Good defense, good stamina, fantastic Pokemon. Now coming in at number 9 is Rampertos. You may or may not have seen this coming. Rampertos, one of the best, if not the best, rock-type attackers in Pokemon Go, minus the Megas. Absolutely phenomenal Pokemon. Stamina is pretty high, but its defense is low, but it doesn't matter, because it has the best rock moveset. I should say minus Rock Throw, because actually Rock Throw and Rock Slide is better than Smackdown and Rock Slide, but for this Pokemon, they did pretty well. Smackdown, Rock Slide, fantastic moveset. Massive amount of DPS, 1621, absolutely insane. Rampertos, make a full team of them if you can. Perfect Pokemon, excellent Pokemon, going to be one of the best rock attackers forever in Pokemon Go. And lastly, Therian Thunderstorm kind of shares the spotlight with Rampertos because it also has a 295 attack stat. So you can say these are tied for 9th, however you want to say it. But Therian form Thunderstorm is a very good Pokemon. The stamina is not too bad, 188, but if we look at the moves, what makes it good? Volt Switch and Thunderbolt. It is actually a fairly viable Electric-type attacker in Pokemon Go for raids. Other than that, it's not so great, but you can see the DPS 1559. That's not bad if you compare it to the 1621. It's close. That's not bad when you're looking at move DPS as far as movesets go. So there you guys have it. What do you think of the top Pokemon in attack for Pokemon Go up to Generation 8? Were you expecting some of these Pokemon? Do you think some of them are doo-doo? Do you think some of them are really good? Let me know in the comment section down below. Smash that like button and subscribe for more top 10 content. We're going to go over top ways to get XP, top ways to grind Stardust, top Megas, everything you need to know to be prepared in Pokemon Go so you know what to look out for. That's it, the boy Fitz. I'm signing off. I'll see you guys in the next Pokemon Go video.